We live in a world that rewards noise. We're told to speak up, to put ourselves out there, to chase opportunities before someone else takes them. But what if I told you that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stay silent? Silence is not weakness. Silence is not inaction. Silence is where clarity is born. Think about the greatest leaders, the strongest minds, the most influential people in history. They weren't the ones who spoke the loudest. They were the ones who listened, observed, and understood before they acted. They were the ones who allowed things to unfold naturally instead of forcing them into place. Silence is often misunderstood. In a world that values speed, loud opinions, and immediate reactions, silence can seem like passivity. But in reality, silence is one of the most powerful tools we have. It allows us to process, reflect, and gain clarity before taking action. When we are constantly surrounded by noise, whether it's external voices or our own thoughts running wild, we lose sight of what truly matters. We react instead of respond. We rush instead of reflect. But when we embrace silence, we give ourselves the space to see things as they are, rather than as we assume them to be. In moments of uncertainty, most people panic. They scramble for answers, seek validation from others, and make decisions based on fear rather than understanding. But the wisest individuals recognize that clarity doesn't come from noise, it comes from stillness. When we stay silent, we create room for our minds to process information without pressure. We allow our subconscious to work through problems in the background. Have you ever noticed that the best ideas often come to you when you're not actively searching for them? That's the power of silence. When we stop trying to force clarity, it naturally emerges. Great leaders, thinkers, and innovators understand this deeply. They know that listening is far more valuable than speaking. They don't rush to have the loudest voice in the room. They take time to absorb, understand, and then speak with purpose. The people who make the most meaningful impact are not those who react impulsively, but those who respond intentionally. They recognize that words carry weight, and silence allows them to choose the right ones. Silence also gives us the ability to read situations more accurately. When we are too busy talking, we miss subtle cues, body language, tone, hesitation. But when we pause and truly observe, we begin to see what is often left unsaid. We become more attuned to people's emotions, intentions, and motivations. This skill is invaluable in leadership, relationships, and personal growth. Understanding people on a deeper level doesn't come from talking more, it comes from listening better. Beyond that, silence creates confidence. Insecure people feel the need to fill every gap in conversation, to prove their worth through words. But those who are truly confident don't need to speak for the sake of speaking. They understand that their presence, their actions, and their ability to listen speak louder than words ever could. They don't need to dominate discussions or force their opinions on others. They let their understanding and insight do the talking. When faced with challenges, most people react immediately, often making impulsive decisions they later regret. But those who practice silence take a different approach. They step back. They allow emotions to settle. They consider different perspectives before choosing their response. And because of this, their decisions are often wiser, more strategic, and more impactful. Silence also helps us become more self-aware. When we constantly fill our minds with distractions, social media, conversations, entertainment, we leave no room for self-reflection. But in moments of silence, we are forced to sit with our thoughts, to confront our fears, and to truly understand ourselves. This level of self-awareness is what leads to personal growth. It allows us to recognize our patterns, our strengths, and the areas we need to improve. In today's world, silence is a rare and undervalued skill, but those who embrace it unlock a new level of clarity, understanding, and wisdom. They learn to navigate life with a sense of calm and purpose rather than urgency and pressure. They see things as they are, not as they appear in the midst of noise and distraction. Chasing success is a common mindset in today's fast-paced world. People believe that the harder they push, the faster they will get what they want. They run from one opportunity to the next, always searching, always reaching, always trying to force things into place. But what if success isn't something you chase? What if it's something you attract? The reality is that true success, meaningful relationships, and great opportunities don't come from desperation or force. They come naturally when you focus on becoming the kind of person that success gravitates toward. When you chase something, you create resistance. Think about how people behave when they are desperate for success. They try too hard to impress. They overpromise. They focus on short-term gains instead of long-term value. In relationships, the same principle applies. When someone is overly eager to be liked, they often push people away rather than drawing them in. The more you chase, the more you signal that you don't have what you seek. But when you shift your mindset from chasing to attracting, everything changes. Instead of trying to get success, you become someone who naturally receives it. Attraction is about alignment. It means that instead of focusing on external results, you focus on internal growth. The best opportunities come when you are ready for them, not when you desperately try to force them to happen. A person who is constantly learning, improving, and refining their skills becomes valuable without having to prove it. A leader who genuinely cares about their team earns respect without demanding it. A person who is confident in who they are attracts strong relationships without begging for approval. Patience is a key part of this process. Most people struggle with patience because they want immediate results. They want to see proof that their efforts are paying off right away. But the most successful people understand that things take time. A tree doesn't grow overnight, no matter how much you water it. A strong reputation isn't built in a week, no matter how hard you try. The most meaningful rewards in life come when you stop rushing and start trusting the process. There is a difference between effort and force. Effort means putting in the work, staying disciplined, and showing up consistently. Force, on the other hand, is trying to control everything, trying to manipulate outcomes, and refusing to let things unfold naturally. When you focus on effort, success becomes a byproduct of who you are rather than something you constantly have to chase. You don't have to beg for opportunities because they come to you when you're truly prepared for them. This mindset shift also applies to leadership. The best leaders don't demand loyalty, they earn it by being someone worth following. They don't need to micromanage or force people to respect them because they lead by example. They focus on becoming better, and as a result, the right people naturally gravitate toward them. When a leader trusts the process, remains patient, and focuses on long-term impact rather than short-term wins, they create an environment where success happens organically. The same is true for relationships. Whether in business, friendship, or personal life, people are drawn to authenticity. When you are comfortable with yourself, when you bring value without needing constant validation, you naturally attract the right connections. When you stop trying to impress and start focusing on being your best self, you become someone people want to be around. Attraction over chasing is a principle that applies to every aspect of life. Instead of constantly running after success, you focus on creating the conditions where success comes to you. Instead of trying to force relationships, you build yourself into the kind of person who naturally connects with the right people. Instead of trying to control every outcome, you develop the patience to let things happen as they are meant to. Patience is one of the most underrated skills in today's world. People want immediate results, instant gratification, and quick success. They believe that if something isn't happening fast enough, they must push harder, force outcomes, and demand progress. But the truth is, the best things in life don't happen on demand, they unfold in their own time. The most successful individuals understand that real growth, meaningful relationships, and lasting achievements require patience. Instead of rushing the process, they learn to trust it. When people are impatient, they make poor decisions. They take shortcuts, settle for less, and compromise their values for quick wins. They become frustrated when things don't go their way, leading them to give up too soon or push too aggressively. But when someone embraces patience, they develop a different mindset. They recognize that just because something isn't happening now doesn't mean it never will. They understand that progress is happening even when they can't see it. They learn to resist the urge to force results and instead focus on consistent effort. Every great success story is built on patience. Athletes don't become champions overnight. They train for years, refining their skills, improving their discipline, and making small, steady improvements. Entrepreneurs don't build billion-dollar companies in a day. They spend years testing ideas, learning from failures, and adapting to new challenges. Trust is not built in a single interaction. It is developed over time through consistent actions. Anything worth having requires patience, because anything that comes too easily rarely lasts. Patience also strengthens resilience. When someone learns to wait without frustration, they develop emotional strength. They become less reactive, more adaptable, and better at handling setbacks. Instead of seeing delays as failures, they see them as part of the process. They understand that every challenge they face is shaping them into someone who is ready for the success they seek. They learn to handle pressure with a calm mind, making smarter decisions because they are not acting out of desperation. One of the greatest benefits of patience is the ability to stay present. When people are constantly focused on the future, on what's next, on what they don't have yet, they miss what is happening right now. They overlook opportunities that are right in front of them because they are too busy thinking about what's ahead. But those who practice patience understand that the present moment is valuable. They take the time to learn, to grow, and to appreciate where they are instead of always wishing they were somewhere else. Patience is also essential in relationships. Whether in friendships, business partnerships, or romantic connections, people often expect immediate results. They want instant trust, instant loyalty, instant connection. But relationships take time. They require understanding, consistency, and the ability to allow things to develop naturally. When people rush connections, they often miss the depth that comes from genuine, slow-building relationships. But when they allow things to evolve naturally, they create stronger, more meaningful bonds. People often mistake patience for passivity, but they are not the same. Patience is not about doing nothing. It is about knowing when to act and when to wait. It is about understanding that timing matters just as much as effort. Those who are truly successful don't just work hard, they also work smart. They recognize that sometimes the best action is to wait, to observe, and to let things unfold instead of forcing them prematurely. Patience allows for long-term success instead of short-lived victories. It creates a mindset that is focused on sustainability rather than quick gains. It develops character, discipline, and a deep sense of trust in the process. It shifts the focus from immediate rewards to lasting impact, ensuring that whatever is built to last.